Welcome to Short Comic Introduction. One thing I should mention before we start with the main course, the comic I want to show you today. There are some things I really hate in stories today, or in stories overall. One of the main things is I really hate childish, overly happy, or dumb characters that follow the main hero, characters that are more concerned about themselves, and sometimes it doesn't seem like they're contributing to the story, or characters that don't know what's going on, because nobody explains a thing, and this goes on and on and on. And or they react very wrong on the whole situation because they don't know what to do, and also how to put it, stories that at first glance don't go anywhere, or get chaotic because there are too many characters in there that you don't know what to think or expect. So at first glance, I should really hate Final Light by Braveheart Tatsumaki. To be honest, no, I really love this comic. I really love this comic, and I will tell you why. But first, let's get the overall information about it. So yeah, this comic started in June 2016. So it's a very young, still a very young comic on the web, and yeah, I will do again a first impression because, like I said, I'm normally doing my normal ones or normal looks more when the comic is a little bit more longer, or already 2 years, 3 years long on the web. The comic updates every Friday, and the story is about the life of Hikari, which takes a very drastic or chaotic change after she meets a guy who is on a run from a creature from another world, and so she is pulled into a confrontation that spans between or over two different worlds. And that's about it I want to talk about the story, because to tell you more would spoil too much, and even if some of the things I said at the beginning about chaotic may confuse you now, because I said there is a story and I want to don't tell you too much about it. The reason is really simple, because the comic is absolutely chaotic, and this is the fun about it. Our character gets sucked into this in this whole situation, and the way everyone tries to play it down in some way is just absolutely fantastic. The humor works, the timing of all the gags work. You never have the feel, or let's say it this way, you are in the situation of Hikari. You are put into this world and nothing makes sense at the moment, and this is the way it's written is brilliant, because it's not there to be chaotic. It's there because from the story point it's really, Hikari doesn't know what's going on, and it's going on and on and on and on. She never gets a break at the beginning. There's always something happening, always something new happening. There's someone new coming up to this whole group, and there is no break in there. All the characters try to play it down in some way, but no one really takes care about her. She is just sitting there and watching this whole chaos unfold, and it's the way it's written is just it's really brilliant. You are looking at from the perspective of our main hero, and this is what I said. Normally, when a writer is really giving everything to make this work because it's part of the story, then I have nothing against it. And this is like I said, this is here. It works from the beginning here. From the beginning, we are introduced to her, where she has this lonely life. There's seemingly only one person that helps her in some way, and then directly she just crosses the path of this one person, and everything goes down the drain in so many ways. It's you have, like I said, I don't want to spoil what's going on, because it's every a new page you get a new gag, and every gag goes somewhere, because everything builds up to a new one. And this is, like I said, it's really written fantastically. Also, and now comes the big part. You will think when I talk about this that there's only humor and so on, that there is nothing else. And again, you would be wrong, because even amidst this chaos of storytelling, at first glance chaotic storytelling, we get to learn more about the world. And I know this sounds crazy, but we get small glimpses what happens, and after that even the characters admit that it would bring more confusion to tell more, because they tried. That's what I meant. They tried to tell the character what's going on, but not to confuse her anymore. And like I said, it's written brilliantly. Also, there are very dark passages in there, and this is the second thing I really admire here, because we have this character Blue Angel who is or becomes some kind of servant for our main protagonist Hikari. And at first glance, this is what I meant is, I don't like these more childish, overly happy characters. Or more these servant-like characters that at first glance just seem like a dumb character that's just following the main person and has maybe a purpose, but at first glance it's just mostly for humor and maybe to fight or something like that. And here we have this character is its own character in some way. It has its own parts in the story, and what we learn from this character through just their thoughts is also something I really admire, because we get that this character has, even if it's at first glance very happy in so many ways, she cares for our main character because of many different things she doesn't tell. And we as a reader, we get glimpses of this one, but we don't know why she has chosen her in this case. We get, like I said, we get glimpses, and this is something I really enjoy about Final Night, because even if we don't get everything at once, we get glimpses that go somewhere. We build on them. We build up on them. There comes something else, and we get to another point. We get to another point and another point. We get small pieces to the puzzle. Not enough to say, okay, this is where the story will go, but just the right amount to still continue. We want to know how the story continues. And like I said, I really admit and admire how this whole story unfolds, how the characters react, what is happening. And just from the story standpoint here, I have to applaud. There are a lot of stories I really enjoy, but this is one of these kind of stories where at first glance I really should hate everything, but here everything really, it fits into another and really works. And definitive one, this is a story I would only recommend for the or a comic I would only recommend for the story bit. But the next part is the art, and believe me, I like the art. The art was also the first thing that I really that got me into this comic, or that showed me the comic, because I got interested in the cover art, or through the cover art. I tried to show it to you, but I hope my camera will capture it. Hope you can see it. I really like this cover, because even if it's at first glance very hectic, it's very I like the design. I like to see all these characters that you get to know in some way, and I like the way the comic the cover is colored, and it reminded me a little bit more about all these kind of JRPG covers. And yes, I am a JRPG gamer. I like them all. I've tried them all. Let's say it this way. Yeah, that's what. Like I said, this was what piqued my interest, and the overall art of this comic, it's all in black and white, but it's really beautiful. It's detailed. There is a lot of motion, and even here we have a comic where the motion works. It never seems like, oh, we have the artist wanted to draw just something and just threw some motion pieces in there. No, it all, again, it fits very perfectly in another, and I like all the design choices. The designs between these two worlds, when they are more in the in let's say our world, and more the fantasy part, our world more these standard buildings, the other world more these big fantasy building like the mage school and something like that. Also these it's even if it's black and white, let's say it this way, when you look at these pictures, you have this when you look at the city pictures from the first world, from Hikari's world in this case, you have to, even if it's just black and white, you have this very, very sad feeling. Everything looks empty and nothing really happening. Everything just this plain gray. You have the feeling you see everything gray, no color, or the color isn't really there. And then you come to the other world where, even like I said, even if it's black and white, you can think of these very bright green colors, blue sky, everything. When you see the first building, and you have the feeling that, or you can imagine how bright, beautiful this is with many, let's say, details, golden details, or something like that. It really, the art works that you can imagine how this looks in color, with just small pieces, and really, like, it's a fantastic way to if someone can make this work, that you can imagine with just reading 1 to 2 pages how something looks. Again, it's someone who has amazing talent, and I'm really looking forward how this will turn out in the end. How much more comes out from the pages. Like I said, this is one of the comics I really looking forward how the art and the story progresses, because there's a lot of potential here in so many ways. And another thing I really enjoy about this comic specifically is how or let's say this way, part of the comic plays in Chile, and because the author is from there, and I like that they're a part of the or let's say that a part of the words that are in there are in the Spanish or Spanish Chile way pronounced and written, and this makes it a little more, I would say, personal. And I like when artists put their personal or a little bit more personality in their art and writing, because it doesn't look standard. Let's say this way. This doesn't mean I say other artists are standard, but sometimes these are just small parts to put in there to make it different in so many cases. Yeah, definitely. I really enjoy it, and I really hope to see more about this one. And this is really a high recommendation. This comic will be in my top 10. I have to check where it will land, but it's definitely in my top 10, and I'm really happy to have found this one, because it's different, and like I said, it's really great. It's a very interesting read, and I really highly recommend it. I will leave the link down below, and like I said, try to read it. I think many people will like this one, even if they don't know that this one existed. Try it out, definitely. As always, if you want to support the artist, leave a comment, subscribe to their page. They're on Tapas. Even they have even she has even a Patreon account. I will leave the link also down below. And yeah, definitive highly recommendation from my side. Even if this comic just started, or it's going on for over a year now, but I am really looking forward, and this is also one I will definitive take another look in a year, because I'm just so curious where this whole thing will go. And yeah, definitive kudos for Braveheart Tatsumaki. This is it's a really fantastic comic, and I can't say more about it. I really hadn't. Again, it's a comic where I can't say anything negative about it. Some people might don't like some of the designs. I personally really like them, and this is coming from someone who normally doesn't like chibi characters, because mostly they are used in ways, like I said, that are just there to show that there is humor in here. But you made it happen. You did it, and you put it on the right place to the right time. That's why I really like most of the things, or all of the things that are in here that I normally just hate. It's a fantastic little comic, and I'm really looking forward. So thanks for watching, and just take a look and support the artist, and see you next time. Bye.